What is up, guys? In today's video I'm going to be going over my Fortnite controller settings in Chapter 6 Season 4. As always, if you guys do find this video to be helpful, informative, or interesting, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you like some more, comment down below what controller you play on. I personally use the PS5 aim controller, and I do use my own Evolve Jake version. If you guys would like to use my code on aim controllers, it will give you a discount. They'll be linked down in the description below. And like most custom controllers, they have paddles on the back. They have mouse click triggers, mouse click buttons, basically everything that will make your controller as efficient as possible. But let's get right into the settings. So for starters, I play on PC. I do use controller on PC. I play full screen, 240 FPS. I am using the new performance mode. I played on DX12, I believe, since like Chapter 4 Season 2. But before recording this video, I switched to performance mode and played on that today when I streamed. And it felt fine enough. I didn't really notice much of an improvement performance-wise, but I just wanted to try it and see if it was better because I had been asked about it a lot. But I think when it comes to these render modes, whether it's DX12, performance, DX11, or the old performance mode, which the difference is this old legacy performance is a DX11 performance mode, and this new performance mode is a DX12 performance mode. I don't really know much about PCs, but I think a lot of this will come down to your own PC and like how new your PC is. My PC is quite new. I believe I got it less than a year ago, and it has new parts. Whereas like if you have an older PC, the legacy performance mode might be more ideal for you. But with performance mode, you don't really have many graphic settings. Most people just have everything on the lowest. Show FPS I have on, and then everything else off. Is this the audio settings? The audio, I just have sound effects on 70%. This actually affects the volume of everything in game, and I've played on 70% for quite a while. This music setting only affects the lobby music. I know there is lobby music here as well. This is for locker, but you'll see I do that, and now there's no background music. So I've had a lot of people ask me if there's a way to turn off the music in the new bug POIs. There is not. This music setting just affects the lobby music, even though there is a separate music setting called lobby. Fortnite is, interesting. Sound quality I have on high. 3D headphones I have off. I don't know why I have this off, but this is how I've had it for several years. And my understanding of audio in game is usually quite good. So it's one of those things where it's just like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And so I don't change things. Visualize sound effects I have on. This is a setting that is pretty overpowered, especially in the new bug areas. It can be kind of rough at the same time because there's so many bugs on your screen which also produce visual audio, but it's really helpful to be able to see those footsteps and just know that there's an enemy in the area, see that glider icon and know there's somebody gliding onto you. And it's something that's like always good, but I feel like in the bug POIs, especially this season, this setting can make a big difference. Voice chat I don't use really. Movement toggle sprint I have on off. This makes it where you have to hold your sprint button to sprint. I've had a few people ask me about like how I bunny hop with the medallion and don't use sprint. I would get asked about that a lot with the core medallion, and then this season as well with the new slide medallion. If I'm just like traveling around the map, jumping and sliding, why am I not using stamina? It's because I'm not holding the sprint button. And so if you're on toggle sprint, you might need to like disable your sprint again to do that bunny hop without griefing yourself. I'm not sure how it is on toggle, but I've had it on hold sprint for quite some time. Auto open doors I have on. Mantle activation I have on hold jump. Hurdle activation press jump. Hold the swap pickup off. Toggle targeting off. Mark danger when targeting off. Auto pickup weapons off. Swap fire weapons for pump and dump on. Preferred item slots. I have shotgun slot 1 because normally that's how I would do things, and then I just want everything arranged around that. For this season, it might be more ideal to put like pistol slot 1 because I typically run wrecker, revolver, pump, heals, mobility, and then my AR in slot 5. But I don't really bother to rearrange that much because I just worry about this setting for the early game. If I'm landing off spawn, I want my shotgun to be in slot 1 and to like know that my shotgun is 100% in slot 1. So that's why I leave it like this, even though this season how my setup actually goes is quite different. I'm fine arranging things later on in the game, but in the early game you often don't have much time to do that, especially at these new bug POIs that are really chaotic. Auto sort consumables to the right on. Reset building choice on. Turbo building on. Simple edit I don't use. Disable pre-edits I have on. Auto confirm edits I have on reset. I don't know if any of this stuff matters. Oh yeah, tap to search interact. You definitely want this on. Energy mode I have on never, and then off. The game UI, I've had people ask me, or hold on, we'll go through the reticle first. So the reticle I have on, damage numbers I have on cumulative. I don't know if any of this other stuff matters. Reticle damage feedback I have on off. This like adds little like red indicators, I think, when you hit enemies or when you eliminate people. And I just don't want that on. I want as little things going on the screen as possible. If I see the numbers, I'll know that I hit them. I don't need additional things telling me that I hit the enemy. Damage number scale I have on 100%. HUD scale I have on 90%. I've had people ask me how I see my ping in game, and it's the net debug stats setting under the HUD options. So HUD options, net debug stats, and that shows you your ping. I don't use gyro. Don't use mouse and keyboard. Keybinds. Are these? Oh yeah, these are keyboard keybinds. I do use, where is it at? For slot 1, I have on scroll wheel up because I do use a controller scroll wheel, which is attachment made by a company called Pro Scroller. That will also be linked down in the description below. But I have that on weapon slot 1 on scroll wheel up. So whenever I hit that, I go to slot 1, and it just makes it to where I can always get to my shotgun as easily as possible. And then I do have scroll wheel reset for build mode. But I only make 0 build content, so it doesn't really matter. For my controller settings, we have invert controller off. Aircraft stuff, I don't do any of this. I don't know what that is. I build immediately, builder pro on. Edit hold time as low as possible. Don't use simple edit. Slide hold time, I think you want this as low as you can get it without getting accidental slides. I've had it on 0.080 for, you know, seasons now, and this is just what feels good to me, so that's what I've left it on. Vibration I have off. This makes it to where your controller will shake, I believe, when you're shooting, and maybe when you're getting shot as well, but I feel like just having your controller shake like that is not beneficial. I've had vibration turned off, I believe, since like COD 4. So like 2007, 2008, I've been playing without vibration. That's just not beneficial in any way. Quick weapon I don't use, so none of this matters. Build and edit sends 2 and 2.1. First person mode 1.08. Look horizontal and vertical 40. No boost ramp time. ADS speed 11% on each. Scoped multiplier 1.09, not that it really matters. Look dampening time I have on 0.05. I've had this, I believe, since the Marvel season when the Striker Burst had like no aim assist, and then it's just one of those things where, again, with settings, I'm very much, if I feel fine and don't feel like change anything, I'm just not going to change anything. So this is what I've had it on since like about a year now. Linear or expo is how your sensitivity basically increases over time. I have played on linear since they added it in like early 2020. Expo is probably more ideal for most people. The short of it is that linear is typically better for making quick, fast adjustments, and that could be nice for building, that could be nice for editing, that could be nice for reacting quickly to getting shot, and it can also be nice for like pump shots, like making those large adjustments in close range, especially if you're going to be like jumping and sliding around all over the place. You might need to make some large adjustments. Expo is typically seen to be better for aiming and making those small adjustments while aiming. So it's very much a preference and playstyle type thing. Just because I play on linear does not mean you need to play on linear. Just because your favorite content creator plays on whatever setting they play on doesn't mean you want to play on it. But it does affect a lot how this feels. Like if I played on Expo, I would probably end up having a very different sensitivity than what I have now. And then the aim assist strength I have on both on 100. Dead zones I have on 1010. And then this is a new setting that was added this season, the left trigger and the right trigger release. I do not understand what this does. So my controller has mouse click triggers, meaning that the trigger pull is as sensitive as possible. That is the extent that it pushes in. Not very much. But oh, hold on. Where did it go? That is the extent that it pushes in. So whether I have this setting on the highest or the lowest, I've noticed no change at all. But for people that have default controllers without mouse clicks, you may notice a difference here. But I think it's... I played on a regular controller in creative to try to test it before making this video. And even on a default controller, I couldn't really notice what the difference was. I put it on the lowest, I put it on the highest, and I didn't feel a difference one way or the other. So my recommendation would just be to play around with this and see what works for you, or just leave it at the default 25%, because the way this is described, you would think the lower would be better. But like I said, I really don't know. So I just would prefer to leave it alone. And then these other settings don't matter. My keybinds are very basic because I play claw. Claw is where your index finger is on the triangle, circle, X, square buttons at all times. one of the main limiting factors with controller is that you need to take your thumbs off the analog sticks to do a lot of different actions. And if you need to take your thumb off the stick to jump, your aim isn't going to be as good. And so that's why paddled controllers are a thing, where they have buttons on the back. Like I said, you can get one from AIM. There's also numerous custom controller companies out there. But I play claw, so I don't even need paddles. But because of that, my binds are very basic. Like X jump is not ideal for most people. My sprint is left on the D-pad, and that is one thing that I do use a paddle for. I don't actually hit left on the D-pad. But I think aside from that, my settings are incredibly basic and just default, because as I said, I play claw, so there wasn't ever as much of a need for me to actually fine-tune them. But that is going to be it for this video. As always, if you guys did find this to be helpful, informative, or interesting, remember to give it a like. Subscribe if you'd like to see more. Let me know what controller you play with down in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.